Financial gurus love telling us how much money we need to be financially free. One of them says 2 million, another says 5 million, and I think Susie Orman says 10 million. Those numbers can make financial freedom feel impossible. But in this video, I'll share when I realized that I was financially free and how you can determine your freedom number too. I promise you, it's a lot lower than the gurus want you to believe. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey. I'm Malika, a stock market investor and a money coach. I was a single mom and on welfare for almost 10 years. But while raising my daughter, I learned how to invest in the stock market. And then I built my portfolio to retire early at 47. And today I live abroad on the passive income generated by my investments. And on this channel, I share my experiences to help other women invest for their freedom and to make smarter financial decisions without overcomplicating money. So if you enjoy financial content without the finance bro language, subscribe to my channel. Welcome, sis. I think one of the biggest reasons so many women never pursue financial freedom is because we think it's reserved for ultra wealthy people. We hear these huge numbers thrown around 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, and instead of motivating us, it just discourages us. So we think that'll never be me, so why try? But here's the thing, it can be you. Financial freedom isn't when you have multi-millions of dollars in your account. It's a relationship between two numbers, how much money is coming in and how much money is going out. And that second number, the one that's going out, that's the most important. And that's the one that you have the most control over. That's why in the last two videos in the Summer Wealth Reset series mattered so much. In part 3, we talked about lifestyle creep that slows down your freedom journey. And then in part 4, we talked about reducing those expenses without budgeting or feeling deprived. Because the less you need every month, it brings financial freedom just a little bit closer. Sometimes people ask me, Malika, when did you know you were financially free? Girl, I wish I could tell you I realized I was financially free when my portfolio reached an impressive number, but that's not what happened. In fact, I realized that I was financially free before I reached the number that I initially thought I needed. And that's because I stopped chasing the guru's numbers and started measuring my own. I looked at what it actually cost to live the life I wanted, not the life that I was sold or the American dream I was programmed to want, but the life I genuinely wanted for myself and enjoyed. Then I looked at what my investments were generating every month, and it was more than my monthly expenses. At first, I just sat there for a minute and just stared at the number. And then I realized that my life was paid for. I didn't need a salary approved by my boss or another promotion or a paycheck I had to work long, exhausting hours to earn. And that realization changed how I thought about money because it meant that financial freedom wasn't just for ultra wealthy people, and I didn't need multiple millions of dollars to be considered financially free. It was just math, simple and personal, but extremely empowering math because financial freedom is more about your monthly expenses than your bank balance. So let's figure out your freedom number together, or what I like to call your FU number. And we'll keep it very simple. We don't need detailed retirement projections or complicated spreadsheets. We're only going to focus on three numbers. The first number, add up what it costs to support the life you want to live. I'm talking about a life that you will genuinely enjoy, not the Instagram version, not the life you think you're supposed to have, but the one that feels most peaceful and most authentic to you. So include your housing and your utilities and your food and transportation, and of course, important things like insurance and healthcare. But also include the things that genuinely add value to your quality of life. Maybe that's traveling, or like me, living abroad. It could be Pilates or yoga or your gym membership, your house cleaner or your therapist. Remember the vibe and value audit that we did in the last video? It was part 4 of the Summer Wealth Reset series. This is why we did it, because your freedom number should reflect the life that you truly value, not the lifestyle creep or the spending habits that you slowly adopted just to survive exhaustion. So let's say your total expenses for the life that you truly value is about $5,000 a month. Write that number down. That's the first number we want to track. Next, I want you to multiply that first number by 12. So in our example, 5,000 times 12 equals 60,000. That 60,000 is your annual freedom number. That's the amount your investments will need to generate every year to support your lifestyle. Notice what we didn't calculate. I didn't ask what a financial guru thinks you need. I didn't ask what social media said your life should look like. I didn't ask how much your neighbors spent or how much your family thinks you should earn to be successful. We started with your values and your life because you don't need to be rich by someone else's definition. No one else can tell you how much money you need to be free because no one else can define what you value in life. Only you can do that. And the final number I want us to track, this is the fun part. How much passive income do you already have today? Maybe it's dividend income, rental property income, royalties or business income from digital assets, basically any income that you receive whether you're working or not. So let's say that number is 20,000 a year. Subtract that from your annual freedom number. So using my example again, 60,000 in annual expenses minus 20,000 in current passive income equals 40,000. That number is your freedom gap. And now you have something powerful. You have a destination, a reason for working to close that gap. Every dollar you invest, every dividend you receive is going to work for you to close that gap. A lot of people think financial freedom looks like luxury cars, yachts, and big mansions. But for me, it looks a lot more like this. Financial freedom gave me ownership of my entire day, choosing where I live based on the life I want, going for a walk without checking the time, taking care of my health, having time to think. And to me, time is and has always been the greatest luxury. Maybe your freedom number is still a few years away, and that's okay. But here's what's most important and what I want you to be aware of. Once I was able to put a number on my freedom, it stopped feeling impossible and out of reach. Because after I knew my number, every dollar I invested had a purpose. And I didn't build my portfolio for bragging rights. I built my portfolio because I knew as it was growing, it would eventually buy my freedom. So tell me in the comments, when you calculated your freedom number, was it higher or lower than you expected? In the next episode of the Summer Wealth Reset series, we'll talk about how to invest and build a portfolio to generate your freedom number. I personally think financial freedom is the highest form of self-care. So when you take care of your money will take care of you. If this video was helpful, hit the like button and watch the rest of the Summer Wealth Reset series right here. Until next time, bye for now.